guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to be doing some body work on these gas pump doors. I'm going to weld in the holes on this one, and that one doesn't have any holes in it. He's going to be putting a new sign on it, but we weren't sure if the holes are going to be the same. So we're going to weld those in just to be on the safe side, and then hammer out the dents as best I can, do a little bit of body filler prime them, paint them white. That's it. We're not going for perfect. We're going just to make them look a lot nicer than they are. The pump itself is not in perfect shape. The whole center of it's green. They painted everything green. It's not perfect, and he doesn't want it to be perfect. The inside we're not doing anything with. It's silver. Somebody just spray painted it silver, and he said just leave the gasket on. Just fold it back and tape it off because it's all riveted on. So we're just basically kind of just cleaning up the two doors, because after I get done painting them white, he's gonna put a new sign on them, put the glass back in it, and his pinstripe guy is gonna do some pinstriping around it to match the rest of the pump, I guess. This one's got some pretty good dents in it. So we're just trying to make the doors look a lot more presentable than what they currently are. And also, I have another set of cruiser skirts for a 59 Impala. I mean, those could be Ford ones. I don't know what brand they are. But anyways, another set of 59 skirts I need to get sandblasted, body worked, and painted. And I believe we're just going to paint those white as well. And he's going to put all the trim and everything on them and then sell them. And then if somebody buys them, it'll have all the trim and everything installed. They'll already have a paint job. All the rust will be cleaned up on them. And they can just paint it to whatever color they need to. So basically we're just getting it all body worked and everything, you know, and get it to where you can just scuff it up and shoot it whatever color you need to. There's also more parts out there in my van still that I have to bring in. I actually picked these up last week. He needs these done right away because his pinstriping guy is coming to his shop in the next week or so, and he wants to have these back there so the guy can pinstripe these while he's doing other stuff. So first thing I want to do is let's grind down around the holes here, and we'll weld those in real quick. I am not stripping all this paint off. We are just going to sand it all down smooth, but we'll try to hammer out as much of the dents as we can so that I don't have a ton of body filler to do. The one over there has got a pretty good dent on that edge, but we'll try to hammer it out the best we can. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my air hose and grinder, and we'll grind down those spots, buzz those in real quick, and then move on to start hammering out some of the dents. Okay, as you can see, that went real quick and easy. So those are all welded in now. The back side, I'll just put some silver spray paint over the bare weld just to keep it from rusting. So this one, the dents aren't too bad on. We got a few. We'll just try to hammer them out the best we can, and then we'll do a little bit of filler. The paint on here is actually really thin, which is nice. Honestly, most of it might even sand off, but we'll see what happens. So first I'm going to start with a more of a flat hammer here, and we're going to try this dolly. I'll flip it over because these are dented inwards, and see if we can't knock these things out somewhat. Oh, this was a hole that somebody welded in at some point. really about all the bad ones on this one. The other one's where it's pretty screwed up. See this edge right here? Stupid hammer caught the camera. This is bad right here. Right, to go like a pointed end hammer. See if we can't get that out a little bit. Let's try the flat one first. This is more of a flat end here. Somebody tried to hammer it out already. Got it quite a bit. This one's outwards. Nice. Oil cannon. Much better. This is humped up really bad right there. it's flattening out, still got a hump in it. That's the, it's pretty much oil canning. And this could use a little bit more maybe. Getting better, still high right in this area. Try a little bit of heat. See if we can't tighten this up a little bit. Looking better, I think. A little too hot to touch. definitely stiffening out. It's not oil canning anymore, and that's what we want. That's pretty damn close. Right here is a little high still. We're going to heat it one more time and then cool it with the air and see if we can't draw that metal a little bit more inwards. That's pretty good. And now it's not gonna, see how it just comes right back? It's not pushing in and staying in like it was. And that's what we want, because if somebody were to push against it, we don't want the thing popping in and back out. All right, I'm gonna get this sanded down with some 80 grit, both of these panels. Okay, as you saw, I heated it a little bit more. I still wasn't happy with it. Plus, from hitting it hard, it started oil can again. Okay, now we're a little bit high. See if I can tap it back down a little bit now. Definitely feeling a lot better. A little high here. Popped in again on me. It was feeling really good too. and then we should be just about ready to mix up body filler. Okay, I got the filler on the first panel. I ended up coating the whole bottom just to make it a little bit easier to straighten it out really fast. It's still a little bit tacky. I actually have to run out and do a few other things. I was recording me putting this on and my battery died, so luckily you didn't miss anything other than just me spreading this on. As you can see, it's pretty thin. You can see through it in spots. It's not real thick. What I used was the Summit Racing lightweight body filler, and I mixed it with some of the Fantastic Glaze from U-POL. So I mixed the two together just to give it a little bit finer of a material. I didn't want to use just the glazing filler because I would have probably used the whole tube on this. But just feeling this after spreading it feels really good. So I think once I knock it down with the Mud Buster with 80 grit, I think it's going to be ready for a 180 and then primer this panel. I'm not going to sit here and block it. That Mud Buster will get it flat enough for being gas pump faces, and they're getting painted white, so they should look actually really good. This one I haven't done anything to yet other than getting it welded. A couple little minor imperfections, but nothing horrible. So this one I'm just going to grind down with 80 grit, and then we'll fill this as well. When I get back, we'll sand this one down. We'll sand this down and then sand this one down, and then I'll show you how I did the mixture on that. So, all right, I'll be back. Okay, if you look here, all the dark areas are still the low spots. Everywhere else is smooth. I'm not putting a lot of pressure on this. I'm just kind of letting it glide along the surface. Once I get all these dark spots gone, all my low spots are gone. Then I'm going to switch to, I wasn't going to use a block sander, but I'm going to use my 6-inch or 7-inch sander that goes on the vacuum system. I'll show it to you. It's a 3M inline sander. It goes back and forth and it orbits at the same time, so it kind of goes every which direction. And the reason why I'm going to use that is I'm out of 180 grit DA paper, and I'd like to use that with the 180, and then I'm going to go to 320 and hit all this with 320 grit as well, so that when I go to primer it, it's a pretty smooth surface to primer to. Okay, so the key to that sander is don't stay in one place for too long. Just kind of glide it along the surface, let it do its thing, and it really does cut it down nice. Now this is the 3M sander I'm talking about. I think this is a 6 or 7-inch pad, and it kind of goes back and forth and it rotates just a little bit. So I'm going to go over it with the 180 and then the 320. Okay, I'm going to stop with 180 for right now because we have a high spot right here. I need to tap this down. I might grind it down. We got to fill that right there. We got a little pot mark there. We got a scratch here. That's too deep to try to sand out because we'll just start making ripples. And there's just a couple spots here and there. So I'm not going to do any more sanding on this right now. It feels extremely flat. I'm going to go ahead off camera knock this down with the 80 grit, and then we'll mix up some filler, put it on here, and then I'll touch up these spots. And then I'm gonna end this video. You guys get the idea. I'm gonna be doing this to this one, and then it'll be ready for primer. Okay, so here's how I'm gonna mix this stuff up. By combining these two, the lightweight body filler by itself likes to have pinholes. No matter what you do, it ends up with some pinholes in it, and that's just the nature of a lightweight body filler. But if you put some of that in there with it, all of a sudden, it makes it more creamy and it spreads a lot nicer. And if you're wondering on the other panel why there's a couple different colors in the body filler, that's because I mixed up a couple batches of it because I ran out. And you know, you don't always get the mixing ratio exactly the same every time. But you see here, I'm putting about 2/3 body filler to about 1/3 of the glazing filler. And then after I apply this, like I said, I'm gonna end this video. I'm actually not gonna sand it tonight. I'm just gonna let it sit here and dry. But this panel can go on real thin because it's really not too bad. That panel's pretty thin too, but not as thin as this one's gonna be. Because we had that warp in the middle that I tightened up with the torch and the cold air that I blew out of the blowgun. But yeah, you want to thoroughly mix this all up, all three components. Don't stir it, flip it over. Stirring it just creates more air bubbles. And we're just going to kind of pull it tight, but not super tight. Just kind of want to get a good coating on there. Something that we have the sand work with. The reason why I'm coating the whole thing is I don't really feel like wasting time chasing a dent here and there. By coating the whole thing, kind of just get them all in one shot. And obviously, the smoother you spread it, the less sanding you'll have to do. Might not have enough. And if you got to mix up more, mix up more. Don't try to stretch it to make it work. If it's not enough, it's not enough. Got a little dent up here. And then we should have enough actually to get these couple spots over here. Round down that one spot on the edge here that was screwed up. Fill in that divot, pull it tight. Go both directions. not really wanting to have to sand on that area very long. You want to kind of just pull it tight. We're just filling in little imperfections. Oh boy, found a high spot. Hopefully this filler lasts long enough for me to grind it. So basically, I'll hit these spots with 180, 320 it, 80, 180, 320, possibly have a couple little spots to fill in after this gets sanded down. But really, in reality, you can do something like this within a few hours and have all the body work done and have it in primer in a couple hours of work. I take on a lot of little stuff like this with big projects because this is just like a little bit extra cash. If you think about it, you know, you charge $400, $500, $600 to do a pair of these, probably $600 in that area. You're looking at, if you're working, especially if you're working on another project, let's say you're doing body work on something else, you can always take that extra filler that you have left over and apply it to something like this. So when you kind of work little things in like this, that maybe will take a whole day to do it, okay? But you split it up while you're doing a big job, and now all of a sudden you're making a little bit extra money here and there. And it's kind of nice to do stuff like that. You know, so these will be painted in the next couple of days. These will be gone. Next I'll get the wheel skirts sandblasted and get those body worked and painted. Once again, another quick job like that, you know, while I start to wet sand and buff the truck. I have the other pickup truck in there that the body work is just about is done except for the rocker panels, and that just needs to be block sanded, you know, and then that's ready for another coat of primer. Plus I work on arcade cabinets too, you know, another side gig of, you know, doing stuff while you're doing big stuff. So if you could stay busy like this all the time, you can always have pretty much endless amount of work. Don't turn down the little things, I always say, because they help you in the end. You know, you do a big project, and let's say you plan on 2 gallons of Bondo, 4 things of glazing filler, and 2 gallons of primer, okay, to do that truck. I'm just throwing this out there. I don't know what it is, but you're going to have extra body filler, you're going to have extra glazing filler, you're going to have extra primer. Why not apply that? That's already been paid for by that project. Your extras, apply it to something like this, and you can make some extra money. So thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. Any questions or comments, feel free to ask. Other than that, guys, I'll see you later. Thanks for watching.